G'day! In today's video I'm just having a bit of a rant about the future repairability of current gaming consoles, more specifically the PlayStation 5 and also the Xbox Series X and S. With those, I've been encountering some really weird things with them lately. I've also been hearing about some really weird things with them lately. I'll start off with the PlayStation 5 just because with that's coming from personal experience. I had one dropped in, no power. Okay, I'll do a simple power supply swap. Done the swap, brilliant. Console is now up and going with a replacement power supply. Seems to be all functioning. That left the store, and around about a month later, the fella's returned and he's coming up with this particular error upon startup where his console won't update. But it'll just outright refuse. Tried doing updates in safe mode, tried factory resetting the console, all of which ended up exactly the same. Same result, same basically safe mode, boot screen, no real options getting you anywhere. Looked up the error message and it looked to be that the Blu-ray drive is encrypted and paired and matched to the mainboard. And if it doesn't see that matching ROM there, it doesn't actually start. Or at least when it tries to do the update, it will attempt it, fail it, or actually I'm not too sure on that one, but let's say you really want to do this update to be able to play PSN, you want to play multiplayer, you require the latest software on the console, and your Blu-ray drive has failed. Potentially you may not be able to update your console. With this one I opened it up and it turns out I just, in the rush to get it all back together after troubleshooting it on a Friday afternoon, I hadn't reconnected the Blu-ray drive, and I would say this fella doesn't use the Blu-ray drive for his games. He must play only 1 or 2 online games, and he's left it at that, and he hasn't noticed that the ROM wasn't working. As soon as I reconnected that ROM, the update worked, and his console was back up and perfectly fine. But my theory there, and my concern there, is let's say 5-10 years down the line, all these Blu-ray drives start failing. It mightn't be the laser. It might be mainboard issues where now it's not communicating to the mainboard, it isn't identifying itself properly. Might be a slight surge and it's fried one of the chips on there, and all of a sudden you've got a whole bunch of e-waste. That definitely doesn't sound good. One of my other concerns regarding the Xbox Series is with that, the YouTuber The Coder has discovered that there's a encrypted hidden partition on the SSD, and that has to be there permanently for it to function, or else you can't reinstall your console. So basically, if the issue there is, every time you do an system update, that code changes, and it's unique for each console. So if your hard drive fails, but you've got an older backup, you still might not be able to restore your console to a new SSD, put it back in with that old backup, because it will go, hang on, I'm looking for the newer firmware, why is this old version here? And essentially you could end up with some bricked consoles that way. I see it as a bit of anti-piracy, but I more see it as anti-consumerism. Why does it require to have an encrypted code on a hard drive that is a replaceable item, and also an item that wears out over time? It's like saying your wheel bearings in your car have to be specifically matched to your car, or your brakes need to be matched to your car. It's something that will eventually fail one day. They do wear out. They are consumed. But they've paired it, so too bad, get a new car. I find that absolutely insane. And I'm curious what other things will be discovered in the life cycle of this current generation of console. And I'm curious if various hackers, modders, crackers, programmers, whatever you want to call them, will find workarounds that will keep these consoles going into the future. Anyway, that's just a bit of a rambling thought, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.